Shalom Akim, Yahweh, Bashim, Yahushai, Bashim, Kwakadash. Double honors and salutations to the elders and apostles of Great Stone who rule well, and the Akim doing the work of Yabashim, Yahushai in sincerity and through this Brother Nasha DC camp with another brief lesson to edify the sincere Akim doing the work of Yabashim, Yahushai with all diligence and faith in mind, because you understand, man. There's so much turmoil in Israel as per the situation that's going on. Just be specific, the curses, man. You know, we already heard about the so-called EBT access, the outage. You know, folks couldn't access their their funds on EBT cards. It's just a glimmer. You know, it's just a sign of things to come. It's gonna be rough. You know, so just expect more to come, man. It's just a sign from the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai that the men of the Lord have to tighten up, because the time of Jacob's trouble is coming. It's coming full steam. So the video I'm going to play is just about the curses afflicting Simeon and Levi on the island of Hispaniola, because Haiti is catching so much hell, man. The Most High really dealt a blow to the so-called Haitians. The Haitians and Dominicans, they are the nation of Israel. All right, they're the nation of Israel. Prophecy is being fulfilled. They had the earthquake. You have the economic distress. You have the rivalry between both nations. They're the same people, but they haven't come to realization yet. But through the Spirit of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, they'll wake up. But at the end of the day, man, it's always about the elect and the one third among them. The rest, just gonna perish. So it's just one thing, I just wanted to get off my mind, because it's been something I've been thinking about for a couple of years now. So I'll play the video. You get an idea of what the Lord Yabashima Shai has been doing.
Haiti and the Dominican Republic are close, but only in the geographical sense. The two countries may exist on the Caribbean island of Hispaniola, but historically they have rarely seen eye to eye. Tensions due to controversial law changes and the recent hanging of a Haitian man in the Dominican Republic have experts worried that the island is on the brink of a humanitarian crisis. So why do Haiti and the Dominican Republic hate each other? Well, to understand the conflict, we have to go back.
Well, they hate each other. It's because the Most High saw the discord among them. That's what happens when our people turn against the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai to become, idolaters, fornicating, being profane, worshiping idols and all that stuff, which is against the words of Yahweh Shema Shai, disobeying the Lord's statutes and commandments. So the Most High will, have to create that tension, and then when you hear about the staff being broken, the division of the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom, it's hard, to see your family break apart, but they don't know how to get along because they're not being spiritual, They're stuck in the ways of this world. That's why the Most High is afflicting both sides. They're susceptible to Esau's tactics, as by meeting all the goals for the IMF. They're both they're not that financially stable. They make it here and there. But at the end of the day, man, it's all about the curses. That's the tension, between both nations.
1697, when France and Spain divided Hispaniola in two after battling for control. Haiti gained independence from France in 1804 and subsequently took over the Spanish Dominican side in an effort to free the entire island of slavery.
Yeah, how did the so-called Haitians, gain independence? They had to defeat the French. They had to destroy the French military on the islands. But that victory didn't last that long because the Lord had other plans, man. The victory wasn't that didn't last, man. It wasn't a victory in the spiritual sense. It was just a victory on from the so-called on paper, having their freedom. but they still lost it anyway because they had to pay the French, a lot of money, a lot of money to recoup their investments. So it's messed up, man. You want to laugh, but at the same time, it's annoying. But what can you do? It's all the Lord Yahweh Shai's plans. So I'll go back and read Genesis chapter 49, verses 5, from verses 5 all the way to 7. It's what the Lord Yahweh Shai had our forefather Israel prophesy in the last days. All right. So it says in verse 5, Genesis chapter 49, it says, Simeon, that's the so-called Dominicans, and Levi, the so-called Haitians, are brethren. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitations, So they're always deep into that voodoo stuff and that Santeria and that Obia stuff. Even when you go to the west coast of Africa, it's always the so-called, so-called uh, well, I don't want to say so-called, but I see the Levites over there, they're the ones heavy into that witchcraft, whether it's in Cameroon, whether it's in Gabon, whether it's in Nigeria, Ghana, Senegal, Benin, Togo, Ghana, it's Ivory Coast, it's in Liberia, Sierra Leone, Mali. It's always them Levites, man. Always deep into that stuff. Even when you go into the churches, it's always the Levites. Always starting churches on the block here and there. So it's a sign from the Lord Yahweh Shai to know who the Levites are. And the Simeonites too, man. They dip into that stuff, man. They dip into idolatry. And that's why the Lord Yahweh Shai is bringing his wrath upon them. Alright? Then it says in verse 6, O my soul, come not thou into their secret, unto their assembly, my honor, be not thou united. Alright? Unto the assembly, my honor, be not thou united. So that's why you have a division between the so-called Haitians and the so-called Dominicans. Because, hey, the Lord Yahweh Shai put that breach between the brotherhood. So you have the Haitians on one side and you have the Dominicans on one side. For in their anger they slew a man, and in their self-will they dig down a wall. Cursed be their anger, for it was fierce, and their wrath, for it was cruel. I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel. All right, so there's always tensions, man. The so-called Haitians, they can't really get a break. Sometimes I call myself Haitian, but I don't really like to keep that tab, myself. But hey, my folks are from Nigeria, but you got Haitians all over the world, man. You got Haitians in England, you got Haitians, all over the west coast of Africa. You got Haitians in, so-called Levites, in Kenya, Uganda, Burundi, all over Africa, got Levites everywhere, man. So it's not strange, man, to see Levites, spread across the four corners of the earth. Just like the southern kingdom, Benjamin and Judah. Even though all 12 tribes are spread out through the four corners of the earth, but the Levites, man, that's a special case. Always catching hell, man. Always catching hell. Always trying to board that boat to make it to Europe. Even in England, the same thing too, man. It's always, the so-called Nigerians. And before you know it, they say, you Yoruba? Oh, yes, Yoruba. Yeah, so I'm Yoruba myself, but the word Yoruba goes back to the Hebrew word, So it's beautiful to understand what's going on with our people.
Over the Spanish Dominican side in an effort to free the entire island of slavery. Haiti occupied the Dominican side for 22 years. During that time, the Spanish-speaking Dominicans were restricted to speaking French, and Haitians enforced oppressive rules on labor and the redistribution of Dominican wealth. Although the Dominican Republic eventually gained its independence from Haiti, it's thought that this period of occupation was where their relationship started to sour. Since then, several social and economic factors have contributed to deepening divisions. Today, tensions are largely motivated by racism. Human rights experts observe that Dominicans openly discriminate against Haitians because they perceive them to be more black, despite both cultures having African ancestry. Dominicans argue that they have more European heritage than their Haitian neighbors. This anti-Haitian sentiment has endured since 1937, when dictator Rafael Trujillo led the Dominican Republic. Rafael was obsessed with pale skin, and under his rule, around 10 to 25,000 dark-skinned Haitians living in Dominican border towns were murdered.
And that's what happens, man. The confusion of faces. And when Jake drinks up Esau's doctrine, he becomes mad. He forgets who he is and what he's supposed to be. They rather do what Esau's plans and what his plan dictates than what the Lord expects them to do. So that's what happens, man. Tension, man. Tension between the so-called Dominicans and the so-called Levi. And this video here is just short, but I'll play another video. So I get another scripture right here. This is from the book of Numbers, chapter 3, and I read verse 12. Because the Levites, man, you have no choice but to stick with the Lord by Simeon. That's why, if the Lord's going to punish a lot of people, you start with Judah, and then, jump all the way, jump to Levi, that lets you know how angry the Lord by Simeon is with our people for not holding on to his words. All right. So this is Numbers chapter 3, verse 12. I'll start from verse 11. And the Lord Yahweh Simeon spoke unto Moses, saying, And I, behold, I have taken the Levites from among the children of Israel, instead of all the firstborn that openeth the matrix. All right, among the children of Israel, therefore the Levites shall be mine. All right, so hey, the Most High had to put that mark upon the Levites, to be a representative of the firstborns of the nation of Israel. All right, but spiritually now is the elect. Yahushua is taking up that position to be the high priest. And the 144,000 will also be priests too. All right, verse 13 says, Because all the firstborn are mine, for on the day that I smote all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, I hallowed unto me all the firstborn in Israel, both man and beast. Mine they shall be. I am the Lord Yahweh. So that's how important, the word of the Lord is, man. So when the Lord needs to have correction take place, he lets it happen, man. It's either with a slight, rebuke, or heavy rebuke, with destruction. And that's exactly what the Levites are dealing with, in the land of Haiti. They're trying to have immigration here to the state, but it doesn't work out because they gotta face that bias, man. For a nation of people that had to revolt under the thumb of the French, and they had to defeat them mercilessly. That Esau is not going to take that lightly, and that's exactly one thing Esau has to deal with, man. The defeat, and the so-called Haitians had to help Venezuela too. They were instrumental in helping some South American countries, strive for independence. And that's a beautiful thing, man, to want to be free. But the only way our people can be free is through the words of Yahweh Shema Ashai. Just like, John 8:32, the truth shall set you free. The words of Yahweh Shema Ashai, that gives you peace and understanding. That's the only way our people is going to gain freedom, but not through getting citizenship.
Economically, the Dominican Republic fares better than Haiti. Experts suggest that this disparity comes down to the way Hispaniola is divided. While the Dominican Republic enjoys plentiful rains, the mountains that border the two nations cut off Haiti's rainfall. The semi-arid climate, coupled with deforestation.
That's the power of the Lord Abba Shima Shai. The Lord Abba Shima Shai controls the weather. Just like the prophet Elijah prayed so that it won't rain. Hey, that's what the Most High is doing here too. The Most High controls the weather, decides, how fertile the region is gonna be. So that's why you have a lot of Haitians, they migrate to the Dominican Republic to work in a sugarcane field, and they end up, putting down roots. But after a while, the Most High is gonna, tweak Simeon's heart. Tell Levi, no way, hombre, no way, mi hermano, not like that. So if you're Yoruba in Nigeria, you're definitely from the tribe of Levi, and Ghana, from the the nation of Ghana, definitely a Levite, Levite. And it's all spiritual, all right. So I'll switch another video over here. So this is another video here. Let's see if I can pull this up. Yeah, bear me, I can. Just gotta pull this up real quick. Alright, 1 second. Alright, here it is.
There's another border story playing out in our hemisphere on the Caribbean island of Hispaniola. The Dominican Republic and Haiti sit side by side, yet have a complex and fraught history. During the 20th century, hundreds of thousands of Haitians crossed into the wealthier Dominican Republic to escape poverty and political instability, only to face color-based racism and, at times, violent repression. Recently,
and that's part of the curses, man. When you read Deuteronomy chapter 28, verses 54, it tells you, it gets straight to the point. So it says, so that, Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 54, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and towards the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. All right, so that's what's going on with our people, man. So much animosity.
Racism and, at times, violent repression. Recently, in what international human rights organizations took to be a swipe at those with Haitian roots, the Dominican government made headlines when it ended birthright citizenship for children born in the Dominican Republic to undocumented parents. NewsHour Weekend's Yvette Feliciano has more as part of our ongoing series on Haiti.
January in the Dominican Republic city of Jimani.
That's that's Levi right there, always in the churches, man.
Near the main border crossing into Haiti. Earlier in the day, 34-year-old Jesus L'Homme Exilaire says he was detained. Exilaire, a Baptist pastor, says he was unjustly held by Dominican immigration authorities for 6 hours.
They come and ask me, hey you, black guy, where are your documents? I took them out and they said, get on the truck. And while we drove, I asked, what is the problem here? I have my documents. And they said they had to verify.
Exilaire was born in the Dominican Republic to Haitian migrants, and he is a legal resident here. But he is not a Dominican citizen, and he cannot vote. That's because, according to the Dominican government, his Haitian heritage makes Exilaire a foreigner in the country of his birth.
They call you illegal. They say you are not from here, you are Haitian. Go to your country. Most of us don't even know Haiti. We don't know anyone there.
It used to be that, with few exceptions, being born in the DR made you a citizen, but constitutional and legal revisions that took full effect in 2014 changed all that. Under the new law, many Dominicans born to undocumented parents between 1929 and 2007 would lose their citizenship. So would their children, their children's
It's fucked up, man. It's messed up. So that's the curses, man. That's calculated, and it's messed up, man. That's how evil. That's how evil, sows its roots. There's a seed in the mind of our people, man. So much hatred. So you just gotta pray the Lord that Bashima Shai get us out of here, man, because you can't stand living like this. You're running away from the so-called white man, chasing you with a billy club, with his sirens and all that stuff, chasing you around with his taxes and fees, with liens. And then you also gotta run away from your own so-called brother of your own nation, trying to, mess you up, trying to turn you in to the slave master.
children, and on and on. The Dominican government has no estimate of the total number of people affected, but human rights groups estimate hundreds of thousands suddenly lost their citizenship. They were no longer eligible to vote, enroll in higher education, or legally work in the country.
Yo no soy de Haití.
I'm from.
And that's a problem, man. Our people, we're fruitful, man. When you see immigration, and then, the host nation cannot reproduce the way they're supposed to reproduce and have children and have babies, they have to change the laws in the books. And that's, I believe, what the so-called Dominicans are trying to do. To see these so-called Haitians, man, you have that vibrant and, dominating, mindset that they find it hard to compete. They find it hard to, to stay on the same level playing field, but not to understand that the Lord Yabashima Shai says, you gotta be your brother's keeper, man. So it shouldn't be about competition. It's about, working hand in hand, to survive.
From the Dominican Republic. I am not from Haiti. And they say, no, you are here, but you are Haitian.
Dominican lawmakers said changes to nationality laws were aimed at tackling decades of illegal migration from Haiti. That's not the opinion of the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights, a watchdog arm of the Organization of American States. It claims the new laws are part of a legacy of racial discrimination, xenophobia, and anti-Haitianism in Dominican society.
If I'm walking, since I have black skin, they ask for my passport.
Jimena Reyes, who is Dominican of Haitian heritage, is a human rights worker.
There are Dominicans with black skin, and there are Haitians with white skin. I don't understand why they don't hold everyone to the same standard. Many Dominicans walk around without their documents, and if you have no documents on you, how do you prove your nationality?
Reyes says there is historical precedent for the charge of racial discrimination.
Yeah, I think I've met a couple of so-called Haitians with some Polish descent, man. In the D.C. area, because it's a small world, man. The children of Israel come in all shades of brown, man. All colors.
Precedent for the charge of racial discrimination. In the 20th century,
Those were Levites, behind the fence, So it's the curses, man.
Tens of thousands of Haitians, most of them black, migrated to the Dominican Republic to work in sugarcane fields and construction. But in 1937, Dominican dictator Rafael Trujillo, in an outspoken effort to make Dominican society homogeneous and lighter-skinned, called for the execution of all Haitians in the country. Tens of thousands of Haitian sugarcane laborers were killed by soldiers and Dominican citizens. Decades of colorism and anti-Haitian legislation followed. Vigilante killings of Haitians by Dominicans were documented as recently as 2015.
Racism is seen on a daily basis. When I was growing up, since I have black skin, children would call me Haitian devil. That's what they call you. They see you as less than them.
Reyes works at Centro Montalvo, a Haitian rights advocacy group in the Dominican Republic.
And that's the point I came. So I want to get one last precept. It's from the book of Amos. I don't like to dwell on this topic for too long, but it's worth addressing, man. Only the Lord Yahweh Simeon Shai can get our people out of that mindset of hatred, man. Hatred for your own brother. Because it's very important, man, that our people wake up and avoid falling into these pits of ignorance. So this is the book of Amos chapter 9, verse 11. Alright, so it says, "In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old." Alright, so that's how the Lord Yahweh Shema is going to get our people out of this quagmire, man. These curses, this yoke, this burden of unrighteousness that we have to deal with all the time. Only Lord Yahweh Shema shall get it away from us, deliver us from it. That's why, Matthew chapter 1, verse 21 says, Yahweh Shai is going to deliver our people from their sins. And that's exactly what, the creature, our people, nation of Israel, the elect, that's what we've been waiting for, man. Deliverance from our enemies and from unrighteousness that's been plaguing us. So I'll just say, Ka Halal Yahal Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem Kwakodash. Double honors and salutations to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, and the Akim fighting for righteousness in spirit and in truth. Just gotta understand, man. You gotta be spiritual, man. You can't be carnally minded in these last days, man. Because when all hell breaks loose, man, and Esau brings that ship, the whole island of Hispaniola, we have to decide what they're gonna do, man. Stick with the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai's word and have faith, or just give up. I just hope, the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, I pray he delivers the elect. I know he will, but, I just pray he cuts the time short. Shalom.